Birdland Today, your daily dose of Orioles talk.
Welcome back to Birdland Today for Tuesday, February 18th. Birdland Today is your daily dose of Orioles news and analysis. I'm your host, Josh Soroka, and I'm bringing you the latest from Sarasota as spring training is now fully kicked into full gear. That doesn't make any sense, but we'll just move past it because I was stumbling. Now, before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed to the Birdland Today newsletter and this podcast so you never miss an update. And hey, if you're enjoying the show, help us grow by leaving a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts and share Birdland Today podcast and newsletter with fellow O's fans, especially on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. All that social media helps us out immensely. Word of mouth is how we keep this community growing strong. Now, one of the great things about spring training is that we get to see young prospects get the chance to shine around the big leaguers. And we've seen that in previous. We saw with Jackson Holliday and Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman. Before those guys, I remember going to spring training to see Manny Machado up close and Matt Wieters. I can't wait to go this weekend to see some of these young guys. This year, we've got Samuel Basallo, catcher, prospect, huge guy to keep an eye on. Kobe Mayo, guy who should really get an opportunity this year in the big league. These guys are two of the top 15 prospects in all of baseball, and they're in Orioles camp. But they're not the only ones worth keeping an eye on. And today I want to look at 3 first-time invitees that should make could make a big impression in Sarasota. They're probably not guys that are going to get caught up this year for the O's, but they're guys to keep an eye on and the type of reasons, guys that are the reason you go to spring training, to see guys like this that you will then see in Norfolk, in Bowie, and so on. First up, let's talk about an outfielder, Enrique Bradfield Jr. We've talked about him on here before. He's the Orioles' first-round pick from 2023. Bradfield's widely known for his elite speed and defensive skills, both of which make him an exciting outfield prospect for the O's. And last season, he quickly ascended through the minor leagues, moving from high A to double A Bowie, now the Chesapeake Bay Sox, where he proved he's more than just a one-dimensional player. Now, he did struggle offensively, so I want to put that in a little perspective. But in 27 games at Double-A, he posted a .287 batting average with a .395 on base and a .396 slugging percentage. He contributed 4 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run, 9 RBIs, 25 run scores. There's that speed, demonstrating his ability to get on base and manufacture runs. While his power numbers aren't eye-popping, his ability to control the strike zone and consistently put the ball in play makes him a valuable asset. This offseason, Bradley focused on strength training, added approximately 12 pounds of muscle without sacrificing his speed. He's confident that the additional weight will allow him to drive the ball more effectively while maintaining his elite running ability. To date, he has stolen 99 bases in 133 minor league games. I repeat, 99 stolen bases in 133 games played. That shows that he has game-changing speed on the base paths. If his offense improvements continue, Bradfield has the potential to be a top-of-the-lineup catalyst for the Orioles in the near future. Maybe the end of 2025, but I think we're looking at 2026 for Enrique Bradfield Jr. Next up, let's talk about Dylan Beavers. He's an outfielder who, again, is working his way up through the minor league system. He was drafted in the competitive balance round A in 2022. Beavers spent nearly all of last season at the Double-A Bowie, now Chesapeake, Bay Sox. Do I have to do that all season? Where he slashed a .241, .324, .438 with 19 doubles, 5 triples, 15 home runs, and 50 RBIs in 199 games. Very brief promotion to Triple-A Norfolk late in the season to give him a taste of that high-level pitching, and he responded by going 5 for 20, a .250 with a double and 4 RBIs. So not a great batting average, but 250 batting average is acceptable. One of Beavers' key takeaways from facing Triple-A pitching was the advanced command exhibited by opposing pitchers. At that level, pitchers routinely use multiple fastball variations, including a 4-seam and a 2-seam, and don't forget the cutter, to try to disrupt the hitter's timing. And to adjust on that, Beavers has to spend the offseason refining his approach, and focus on pitch recognition and making contact in different parts of the strike zone. Bieber's offseason workout has included a training session that replicated different fastball movements that he would then see at those higher levels. He's been working on tracking different type of pitches in the batting cages and improving his ability to read and react to pitches deeper in the zone. His combination of power, speed, and defense versatility makes him a promising player to watch this spring. And if he can make the necessary adjustments, Beavers could be in the line for a call to Baltimore. Maybe again late this season. I really think you're more looking at 2026 again for Beavers. Now, let's talk about the mound. Let's talk about a pitching prospect. Let's talk about Brandon Young. He is number 18 as far as O's prospects go. Now, he's a right-handed pitcher. He's the 2024 Jim Palmer Minor League Pitcher of the Year award winner, and he originally signed as an undrafted free agent in 2020. Brandon Young has made remarkable strides in his development, and he's now on the verge of breaking into the big leagues. Last season, he started at Double-A, then worked his way up to Triple-A, where he put up a 3.44 ERA with 96 strikeouts over 89 innings in 20 games and 18 starts. 96 strikeouts over 89 innings. That's more than one strikeout an inning. I like that, especially if we can put him in our bullpen. Now, Young's standout performance last season caught the attention of Mike Elias, who noted that Young was on the radar as far as a potential big league call-up in 2024. Now, that didn't happen, but now we've got 2025 where he has a legit chance to make it in the bullpen. Depending on how he does in spring, he's going to get the call-up. Whether it's for the bullpen or leave him in AAA and bring him up later in the season, he's got a guy that we will see in 2025. His pitching arsenal is headlined by a powerful fastball, a sharp curveball, both of which been keys to his success. However, he spent last summer refining his secondary pitches, working on a slider and a changeup, and the goal is to then be able to add more deception and improve his ability to keep hitters off balance. Young's ability to miss bats and limit hard contact makes him a compelling option for the Orioles' pitching depth. If he continues this progress, he could be a factor in the major league rotation or bullpen as early as this summer. If he has an amazing spring, as early as this spring. But I think he's more of a summer, June, July type guy. So, there you have it. 3 rising stars that you need to keep an eye out at Orioles camp this spring. Enrique Bradfield Jr. with his speed and newfound strength. Dylan Beavers with his approach against advanced pitching. Let's see how he does looking at better pitchers, especially big league pitchers. Let's see how he does in spring training. And Brandon Young, can he take that next step? Can he continue to get the ball past batters and make that step up into the majors? Now, before we wrap up, once again, don't forget to subscribe to the Birdland Today newsletter and podcast to stay up to everything happening on Sarasota and beyond. And if you're enjoying the show, take a moment, leave us a 5-star review, share Birdland Today with fellow O's fans. We grow through word of mouth like you. So let everyone know. Tell everyone on social media. Share the podcast. Share the newsletter. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, go O's and bookmark birdlandtoday.com.